In the last 30 minutes, opening statements started in a case that many people have been anticipating. It's a case against a woman accused of hitting and killing a U.S. national team cyclist. Thanks for joining us for 4 o'clock at 9 News. I'm Tom Green.
I'm Kim Christensen. Yeva Smiljanska is accused of falling asleep behind the wheel, killing cyclist Magnus White in 2023 while he was training. Smiljanska is accused of hitting White on Highway 119 near Gun Barrel on July 29, 2023. Today, during opening statements, the prosecution said she passed out after staying up following a booze-filled night. The defense says Smiljanska doesn't deny hitting White, but does deny that she was under the influence. Her attorney claims she fell asleep after her attempts to stay awake failed. Her trial is expected to go through Friday. She is charged with vehicular homicide.
On this Monday at 4 o'clock, the Weather Impact Team continues to look ahead to what will be a very turbulent week of our weather.
A live look at the high country right now. Still snow up there. The mountains may be getting another round of snow later tonight, kicking off a few days of snow and rain in the high country. Skiers and boarders will be happy because they still want to get some runs in, right? All that fresh snow, the ski season nearly over. It's wrapping up in some places. Here's a live look at Wolf Creek right now. The resort says while Keystone, Crescent Butte, and Telluride will all have their closing days this Sunday. So no matter what the forecast, they're trying to wrap things up over the weekend.
Yeah, and this is it, the end of March. Of course, it came in like an ocelot.
And what's an ocelot do?
Going out like a dingo.
Oh, what's that?
That's the old saying. That's
Never heard it. Never heard it, but it sounds good.
Australian creature, Tom, a little dingo?
Well, the dingo's a little wild dog thing. The ocelot's like a cat, like a little leopard kind of thing. Yeah.
I love that we're doing Animal Planet right before weather. Thank you for that. Excellent lesson. Some ski resorts may actually want to extend out their season when they see the forecast for the rest of this week. We have the chance of a brief rain shower in Denver tonight and early tomorrow. We're just in the midst of an unsettled weather pattern that will bring a series of storms across Colorado. Temperatures today ahead of the first wave in the 60s, so very comfortable in spite of the cloud cover. Winds are starting to increase out of the west and southwest, though, and that's where that high and mid-level cloud deck is coming into play. There's a system that's going to bring snow to the mountains tonight, and that snow could be heavy as a winter weather advisory starts up at 9 o'clock. And we're starting to see some snow on radar across the northern and central mountains this early hour. This winter weather advisory will go out through Wednesday morning for over a foot of snow, but also gusty winds, which will impact travel on I-70. Temperatures in Denver, in spite of the cloud cover, will be very mild this evening. Your weather headlines include heavy mountain snow coming up in the next 24 hours. The metro area will see wind and rain tomorrow, and then rain and snow at the end of the week. Our Colorado Rockies come to town for opening day. How will this impact all of you all of us baseball fans and our Rockies coming to town? We'll talk all about that in weather coming up.
We are following breaking news at this hour. Colorado Springs police are investigating a shooting involving at least one of their officers. According to police, officers were responding to a call when shots were fired in downtown Colorado Springs off Nevada Avenue. It's unclear at this time who fired shots or if anyone was hurt. We'll continue to follow the story. We'll bring you updates as we learn more.
New at 4 o'clock, that historic painting of George Washington, the one that went missing from an Englewood storage unit, is now back in safe hands. A couple of hours ago, Englewood police gave us a look at the early 1800s painting, the one that was stolen out of a storage facility a year ago. Police say they got a tip that led to a man who says he unknowingly got the painting. He told police that a hotel clerk gave it to him after finding it abandoned in a room. Well, after a couple of weeks of negotiations, the painting was surrendered last Friday to police. Englewood police describe it as largely undamaged, only minor cosmetic damage done to the frame. So, what happens with it now? Eventually, it will be turned over to the insurance company. 5 years now after the pandemic, some school districts say they're still feeling the effects when it comes to supply chain shortages.
So one district in Colorado bought a school bus off Craigslist because of a bus shortage. 9 News Northern Newsroom reporter Amanda Gilbert spoke to the Poudre School District about how and why they did this.
Imagine waiting 2 years for an order. That's exactly what the Poudre school districts had to do.
We are actually taking delivery soon of 5 buses that we ordered over 2 years ago. It's been a challenge for sure. We are not unique in the search for new vehicles.
Vehicle maintenance manager Dan Weaver says that prompted his team to think out of the box.
And I kind of chuckled and said, obviously we're not going to buy a bus off Craigslist. Pulled it up, found out it was a 2013 with only 80,000 miles on it.
Not just that.
Brand new, you're around $150,000. We picked up that vehicle for $13,500.
Driver John Pixler didn't know he'd be assigned Craig.
Yeah, this particular bus we named Craig. That's because we bought it off of Craigslist.
But he does his daily checks.
We keep pumping it down. Okay. And it runs great, yeah.
The Craigslist bus has been so good, it's actually been trusted to run one of the district's longer routes.
Driven this bus approximately 25,000 miles.
There's extra space.
Now this bus is a full-size bus and I can accommodate 5 wheelchairs. That was another reason we were happy to get this bus.
Maybe it wasn't too good to be true.
We verified that it qualified in every way needed for the state of Colorado, certified it with our annual inspectors that we have in-house. It was a deal we couldn't pass up.
A deal Dan trusts his wife's life with.
My wife works in Poudre School District as an ILS teacher. She is on that bus quite often.
Dan says it's less about where you find something and more about doing your due diligence.
I think the chances of finding something this good are pretty slim.
The Poudre School District says one thing that really helped is that Northern Colorado owner who was selling the bus originally got it from the Aurora School District, so it kind of already met those Colorado state requirements. They have sadly not found another Craig since having luck. In Northern Colorado, Amanda Gilbert, 9 News.
Hard to find. They don't pop up on Craigslist every day. Poudre School District says the Craigslist bus can accommodate 5 wheelchairs and about 56 passengers. So they think that was a screaming deal all the way around. A historic Denver building at risk of being demolished may have a second shot at life because of a historic landmark designation filed by the building's neighbors. Community neighbors from the Sun Valley and Lalma Park neighborhoods, where the SUNY steam plant resides, along with historic Denver, filed the designation. As long as their application is active, they say the plant's owner, Excel, can apply for a permit to demolish it. Excel has been trying to sell the historic building with no success. They previously said that if no one buys it, the company will be forced to demolish it and put utility equipment in its place. Since announcing the demolition in 2021, many community members have made it clear that they want to revitalize the property.
So there's really limitless possibilities about what you can do with this building. And I think that that community sees that. They see what it could be to them. They see what it could mean to them. And they're really keen that it stays long into the future.
Excel said it would list the building publicly for sale for 30 days before proceeding its plans. That sale period ended this past Friday. The company says it's willing to accept bids outside of that 30-day timeline, but they would not tell us much more of how much longer or when they may start to work on destroying the building.